So it basically took like a couple of minutes since Netanyahu's speech to whatever it is. Let me just hello everybody. First of all, like, comment, subscribe. Where are you from? What? I see the Israelis are here. Are you guys, did you also lose your sleep schedule completely? They've been firing at night. Last night they fired at like 1, 3, 6 a.m. like to make sure you don't sleep at night. And then during the day, sometimes just, but yeah, it's been crazy. So hello everybody. So I'm seeing that some Israelis are here. Maybe a little bit sleep deprived. Hello, so how y'all doing? All right, for those who don't know, how many here watched? Did you guys watch the Netanyahu speech already? Have you been excited watching that? It was fun. I'm just yep, Bibi the dumbass. Right. Let me, I'm just, there was something that popped up right before I had to go live, so I'm also waiting. I kind of waiting for people to join in while they are here. Oh, I thought it's June. It's June. I thought it's June. Was I wrong this entire time? I thought it's June. Hello. Yes. Okay. So it's not just me. All right. Oh, you guys are well. Hello, everybody. This is a very kind of I saw it on X. I saw it on X, and I'm like, okay, let me react to this. Now I need to open it. May Allah continue to bless the 2 hands and 11 fingers. Amen. Oh, let me read it all the way through, because I think it's worth it. May Allah continue to bless the 2 hands and 11 fingers of Bibi as he defeats the followers of Muhammad. Amen. Amen. Oh, today been juicy. Also, they've been stuff going on, Yeah, night. Okay, I see all the Israelis are here. Hello. They're saying you the last baby video you saw this. All right. It's amazing. So it's amazing how fast the bullshit like made up stories are traveling. I can't, like, I've seen somebody make a comment and now everybody's talking about it like so fast. All right, here. Here, this is Marian Awful. Okay, found it. Let me share. Oh, you want to debate me? Really? I don't know, like the debate thing with on when using StreamYard is a bit difficult. What do you want the debate topic to be on? What do you want to debate? What is it that you want to debate me? I would love a Muslim that can debate properly. It's gonna be amazing if one is found. The Bible, you want to debate numbers. You want to debate the Bible numbers. Why you want to debate the why is it the Bible you want to debate as a Muslim? Like what exactly? Like what is the essence? Are you trying to say that Jews are as bad as Muslims? Is that like the logic you're trying to apply? Because if you bring up the Bible and you want to debate the Bible, then I'm guessing that your point would be like, you see, the Jews are just as bad as we are, which is not a compliment to Islam. So you can say, I want to debate Judaism because I don't like Judaism, but like that doesn't make Islam not suck. So I just want to see, like, I want to understand, like, what's your goal? Because we can argue, right, about a lot of things. I want to show number, allow to hurt kids. I see. So you want to show the Bible allows to hurt kids. Interesting. because you see the Bible allows to hurt kids, and therefore, you know, the book that Khamenei wrote about having sex with babies is legit, right? Am I correct here? Is that where we're going with this? And N18 forced marriage of women. What exact? Where's the forced marriage of women exactly? So you are saying because in the Bible you can there are, so here's the thing, right? Here's the interesting thing. You want to argue on a passage that maybe can be interpreted this way or that way, and or there can be like, I don't know, you're right. And but let's have fun, okay? Let's say that what you're saying is correct. I'm gonna say like what, because here's the thing, why would I want to debate you if you are proven right? You're still an idiot that needs to be eliminated. Like, I don't understand the logic, right? Because the conclusion, the action item would not change even if the Bible says something that is not good. Insulting idolatry is a mitzvah. This is what I'm doing right now with you, exactly. As I see you as an idolater, as a, you know, you worship, like worshiping the moon. So I'm just asking, like, so you're saying allow, do a turn. Let's say it's, let's say, right? Let's just say that yes, you can read those passages and come to the conclusion that that is where it says. Okay. Okay. Here is the difference. In Judaism, the land of the law is above everything. So if the land of the law says that you're not allowed to do those things, the land of the law wins, right? In Islam, there is no land of the law. So you cannot change the law to be different from whatever Islam, the Quran and the Hadith says, you understand? So let's say I agree. Like, why would I argue that with you? Because the conclusion is still that Islam needs to be eliminated. You understand what I'm saying? Like, the question is, are you trying to drag down the Jews with you to the hell you belong to? Or are you going to go alone, right? So I have no interest in participating in that debate. Why would I be interested in participating in that debate? I think the conclusion is clear that the Islam has to go to trash, the trash bin of history. Now you can, but I have no interest in arguing it, the same about Judaism, because because like it's an alternative reality. When you're like, oh, you see Epstein, like, because because it doesn't work the same way in Judaism as it does in Islam, because the land of the law wins over. Now, let's say a Jewish cult takes over, right, the Judaism, and then they do all those things. Yeah, get rid of them, okay? But right now, the state of Israel does not allow those things. So it's irrelevant. But in Iraq, you can marry a 9-year-old. So what I'm saying is, you want to expose it, sweetheart, it doesn't matter, because the action item is the same. All right, the only, like, you are trying to drag us to hell with you because you know you deserve hell, and you're trying, like, you know that Islam sucks, you know being a Muslim is a mental illness, so you are trying to drag down people with you, right? That's what you're trying to do. I'm not interested, okay? It's like, why would I do that? Am I an idiot? You think I'm an idiot? I'm against it. That's it. I know Judaism also allows people to say where we don't want it. So it makes it illegal. And sorry for so what's the point? The action item doesn't change. I dislike debates wherein the conclusion is the same conclusion. Islam needs to be eliminated. Was Muhammad perfect? Yeah, thank you. I mean, the thing is that the thing is, like, if I had found one concept in Islam that is worth defending, I would say maybe don't throw away everything. Maybe like you need to be like, but there is nothing there. It literally needs to be burned and nothing. Every single sentence it is idiotic. Idiotic. So that's it. Like, that's it. I mean, I can bring you good sentences from the Bible. I cannot bring you good sentences from the Quran. That's the problem. So, and there are good sentences that are written in the Bible that are not written anywhere else. So it's worth keeping. You know, then critical thinking, you can use the bad parts to teach critical thinking. The Bible allows that. The Bible criticizes everything, everyone, including God. So what are we doing here? The conclusion is the same conclusion if I debate you on numbers. You understand? Why would I want to debate whether I should go to the shithole you belong to with you? Go alone. Thank you. Anything else? Anything? Because like I said, like this is what they do, the Muslims. This is what they do. This is, first of all, like I've talked to people about disinformation. The most important campaign of disinformation is not whether or not what they're saying is true. It's what they are trying to make you check whether it's true or false. It's the fact that instead of thinking how Islam should not exist, right, and that is the top priority because there are a lot of Muslims everywhere in the world, Jews, listen, if Jews get rogue, it's okay, it's not such an easy problem to like take care of right now. But right now, like there is like they're probably not gonna get rogue, so it's contained. Okay, Muslims are crazy. So it's a real problem, right? It's a real problem. So it's like here's the thing, right? There are a lot of like other groups that I feel like are annoying, right? But Islam is the worst. So if I need to cooperate with people I maybe disagree with, and I would like argue with them. And when it comes to, like, you know, Islam says it perfectly, like the Arabs say, my brother and I against my cousin, the cousins against the blah, blah, blah. The same, but that just instead of like tribal thinking, ideological alignment, right? The farther away we are ideologically aligned, the more I'm going to fight you. Doesn't matter if you're a Jew, if you're my brother, doesn't matter, okay? Doesn't matter, I don't care. I don't care. Anyway. So you guys notice that when somebody is trying to drag you into debating something that is by itself, the topic itself is idiotic and the conclusion doesn't change, you don't learn anything from it, then because here's the thing, that in reality right now, what with the world has proven that there is no alternative to the Bible. There isn't. Nobody had written something that allows stability when you teach it through time. It is only when you study the Bible itself and not through mediators, right? So you need to actually learn the Bible for people to be mentally stable and productive. It's only the Bible that proves itself to be able to do that. One of the problems in American schools that they stopped teaching the Bible, and what are we seeing? Degeneracy. Why? Because something about the Bible being so honest, so brutal, and here's the thing, it's like it develops critical thinking when you learn it, and it has the moral system that you must have in it embedded. There isn't an alternative to it. There isn't. If you would have an alternative, then we can debate, but for that you'd have to do something that is intellectual, which I know Muslims cannot do. So anyway, I mean, Muslims who believe in the bullshit that is called Islam. I'm a Muslim and liberal. Fine. Okay. And I'm a lesbian that likes men. Fine. So it's all good. It's all good. All right. So look at that. This is now for this guy is so interesting. So this is a classic example of a person that does insurgent. So in general, his sources, like the way he describes things, are actually beneficial, and he brings information that others won't. But he, from time to time, inserts things that are meant to take you out of balance. Right, so this is a very classical case. Oh no, I did something wrong. All right, I fix. Let me. All right. So you guys, please notice that people are not wasting your time with debates. Like, it's so important. First of all, ask yourself whether true or not. If the conclusion is the same, then why does it matter if it's like, why would you like waste your time on something that is ambiguous? Like, oh, like the conclusion stays the same. So why? Unless it's fun, right? Sometimes you want to debate some things, but there has to be a purpose, right? So let's say there are two Jews who are debating numbers, then it would have a purpose, because that would mean, okay, how should we actually, how does it apply to our actual lives, right? That would be the question. But when it's like a Muslim and a Jew, then it's useless, because it's not like Muslims are gonna like adopt morality all of a sudden, right? Just because like you'd convince them that something is or not is, like it doesn't matter, right? Because they're just trying to prove that you are just as bad, which is amazing. Like, can you believe how deranged you have to be that your debate is trying to say that someone is just as bad as you are? Ew. I don't want to like, okay, if we are the same, then we both reserve the rights to take it to you know, like a proper gentleman, like people who, you know, when like if both are equal, you take it, you do a duel, you bring swords. This is how you solve a debate. That's like one solution, right? Let's say like if Jews or Muslims are the same, because this is like, for example, if you have between Pakistan and Afghanistan, you're gonna ask me who I support. What's worse, Pakistan or Afghanistan? Like, they're both bad, right? So it's like, I mean, maybe Afghanistan is a bit worse, I don't know, but like honestly, like I have nothing to say. So like, so it's fine if they duel, it's equal, right? I accept. It's how Muslim, like between Muslim tribes, that's how it happens. It's like both are just as bad as each other. So it's fight between equals. I'm not gonna take a side, right? So as a Jew, right, if you're gonna say, oh, your Jews are just as bad as Muslim, well, sorry, I don't care. Then it makes it a duel, and I don't, and you are competing on my resources, so go away. You know, it's like the conclusion is the same. It's the thing is like, it's performative, right? Should the Jews be abandoned? And the reason they want the Jews to be abandoned is because the Jews are the only ones who are now dueling in the Middle East, and without it, you're gonna have the gay Europeans, and like you're staying with a bunch of people who with open cheeks, who are just ready to whatever the Muslims want to do with them, and the Muslims win. So what's the point? Stop, don't do it, guys. And also, I hate this is one of the reasons, right? I really don't like speaking on things that are viral, but in my what the heck, my camera, why are you doing problems? I think because I left the window open. It like the sand came in, and then sometimes it like makes the touching parts a bit disconnected. All right. Yeah. Anyway, okay, so some claims that go viral I don't like discussing them, because every second I'm talking about something that is bullshit, I'm wasting time where I can actually give you guys tools to fight idiots like the guy in the comments. Where did he go? Did he leave? Like, if, because that's the thing, right? That was a very I feel like I sound like Goldie Gamari right now. It's like, it's fun to debate, right? It's fun, but it's so important, so for us to right now to understand that it's all fun and games, but at this point what the Muslim side is trying to do is to waste our time. Why? Because they already infiltrated everywhere, and now they're just buying. Sorry. Okay, let me put Netanyahu while I fix them.
Also wrote The Lessons of History, very brief, 100-page book, in which he said, well, history proves that, unfortunately and unhappily, Jesus Christ has no advantage over Genghis Khan.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you are strong enough, ruthless enough, powerful enough, evil will overcome good. Aggression will overcome moderation. So you have no choice. If you look at the world as it is today, you have to be blind not to see that the democracies led by the United States have to reassert their will to defend themselves and to oppose their enemies in time while there's still time, before the jarring gong of danger wakes them up and wakes them up too late. This is where we are now. The fact that people don't see that, the fact that a lot of the news media are harking on a lot of fake news, but also a lot of short-sightedness, and do not see the historic period and the historic struggle that we are engaged in now.
Anyway, I put Netanyahu on so that I would be able to fix my Mac really quick. But I'm trying to remember what I was saying before. Oh, okay, yeah. So I was explaining that what the tactic the Muslims are using right now, and you should guys notice it. What they're doing is that they are actually trying to debate as much as possible, and they're gonna debate from every aspect that they can. Because their goal, right, is to delay decision making. The longer you talk, right, it also puts people to sleep, because they feel like, okay, people are now talking about it, and that means that we are getting closer to action. Even the Muslims are talking about it, but actually it's actually not for it. It's actually, now that they already have their bases ready, it's just a matter of time. Okay, so they're just, it's like somebody, it's like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna spill the tea. Okay, a very basic tactic for espionage, when you want to, so you bring somebody who's cute and suddenly she's very friendly with you, and you talk about, hey, and people are excited that this cute girl talks to them, and it's not even a long conversation, but it's just long enough so that whatever is happening behind your back can finish, right? And it's like, oh, I lost, like, it can do anything, right? and and that's the thing, right? So so the thing that the Muslims are doing now, why it goes viral and it gets click, but everybody's talking about, uh, is Islam good and bad, or like how like everybody's talking, and the reason they do that is that because they already have their bases to delay the decision, and to make sure that while they are getting prepared, people feel like, okay, finally this problem is getting addressed. And because people feel like somebody is taking care of something, they're doing nothing themselves. Because I feel like if it weren't for that tactic that Muslims come and debate you and like, oh, let's talk, let's engage, like let's agree with you sometimes, right? Then then a lot of people would have started like thinking what to do themselves, right? Understanding like, okay, there is no government, there is nothing, let's see what we can do ourselves. So it's another thing. It's like, how do you make them like it's such an interesting like balancing tactic. And it's so important. And the goal, the true goal is that what really needs to be talked about is how do we get rid of Islam, like in practice, like what do we need to do? Which is the least popular type of talk. Any talk that requires you to take action, any talk that requires you to think, any talk that requires you to go and check what's going on in your neighborhood and what you could do, feels like instead of unwinding, actually it makes you feel like you're working. So people like finish a day of work, open up the TV, they don't want to feel like they're getting like, okay, here's what I'm supposed to do. It's like taxing. It's mentally taxing. It's difficult. So they are like, okay, I just want to like unwind and I want to feel good. And even people just talking about how bad Islam is, blah, blah, blah. We already established that. Okay, if at this point you don't understand that something is wrong with people who tend to randomly explode, then you are retarded. And these people should be treated like the retarded, mentally deprived people, blind, deaf, whatever they are, right? You are like, okay, fine. You don't think that? Okay, fine. Some people are blind, it happens. This is how it's supposed to look. If you at this point, right, anywhere in the world, if the 9/11 didn't convince you, if the October 7th didn't convince you, if the stabbing in the street didn't convince you, if the IRG, like if Iran just sending like random missiles everywhere didn't convince you, especially like if the whatever is like the US, right? If what happens in universities didn't convince you, then you are mentally deprived. You are retarded. So and we don't have the time to entertain your mental illness and try to cure you. Like, why would I debate someone who is blind and try to tell them what yellow looks like? Like, this is what is happening right now. There are people around you that are like, no, this is not what yellow looks like. You are effing blind. How would you know how yellow looks like? So it's time, is like at some point, you know what yellow looks like. And now you need to act accordingly, right? And now you know that if a banana is not yellow, maybe something is a little bit, right? Maybe it's like, maybe it's not a banana, maybe it's something like, maybe it's not ripe, maybe it's too ripe. Like, you can apply, you can take action because you know what yellow is. And can you imagine if somebody comes and show you a brown banana that looks really like brown, and it's like, this is yellow. It's not yellow, it's yellow. It's I like eat it. It's like, it's like, no, I know what yellow looks like. That's it. It's like, you're colorblind, I care. Whatever. So it's like, this is what people do, right? Because the people don't want to see what Islam is, because it makes these are lazy people who want to feel good about themselves, but without having to do anything. Not to actually, nothing, right? Nothing really. Like, they want to feel like it's easier. Like, they don't want to be confrontational. They don't want to fight. They don't want to do, like, they don't like it. Then why? Okay, so, okay, fine. Blind, retarded, slow thinker. move aside, okay? We don't have time to entertain these idiots anymore. People who are not blind should be like, do you see what I see? Okay, let's take care of that, you know? Yellow, you're saying yellow is primary color, no two other colors can combine to make it, then why don't we have yellow receptors in our eyes then? And why is it RGB screens that we have then? I'm just joking. I'm just, it's not like it's not, I'm just joking, okay? I'm just thank you, Psych 6 Volume 1. Bite Size started with an anthropological centered cultural premise, not a philological principle centered premise. Who is Bite Size? What is Bite Size? I don't know that. Is this like a channel? What is Bite Size? Bite Size, let me see. Bite Size is BBC. Use BBC Bite Size to help you with your homework. Okay. Interesting. I don't know what it is. Okay, fine. Thank you so much. Thank you for your generous gifting of 10 Rebecca Bersef memberships. Welcome. Thank you so much. Wait, Jack Ray one. Thank you. All right. Shalom. Hello one. All right. So this person, Mario Naufel, right now everybody's talking about Netanyahu went full edgelord. Jesus Christ has no advantage over Genghis Khan, because if you are strong enough, ruthless enough, powerful enough, evil will overcome good. Bro, that's not a flex. That's a facepalm on straight. Why can I not read? Because it's late. Okay, sorry. That's facepalm on steroids. Israel is already fighting the global optics war. Tired. That's Iran's. By the way, this is Iran's fault. Okay, Iran is annoying. Iran's already fighting the global optics war, and Prime Minister decided to drop might makes right. Jesus who in the middle of it. He said, did he actually say that? Might makes right. Jesus who in the middle of it? Did he? I mean, that's based. I wanna hear. Now I wanna hear. Did he actually say that? I'm guessing that it's might have not been the same. I mean, I'm curious.
Also wrote The Lessons of History, very brief, 100-page book, in which he said, well, history proves that, unfortunately and unhappily, Jesus Christ has no advantage over Genghis Khan. Because if you are strong enough, ruthless enough, powerful enough, evil will overcome good. Aggression will overcome moderation. So you have no choice. If you look at the world as it is today, you have to be blind not to see that the democracies led by the United States have to reassert their will to defend themselves and to oppose their enemies in time while there's still time, before the jarring gong of danger wakes them up and wakes them up too late. This is where we are now. The fact that people don't see that, the fact that a lot of the news media are harking on a lot of fake news, but also a lot of short-sightedness, and do not see the historic period and the historic struggle that we are engaged in now, doesn't obviate these truths. Also wrote
well, now you see, now Mario made us waste time to try to understand if he said that or not, which he didn't. PRT might be screaming into pillows right now. Oh, so the source, it means that he just disclosed TV and he just copied them without bothering to to actually listen to the video. Oh, and they pinned it. Check it out. They have 1.6 million followers and they pinned it. Now, Netanyahu, Jesus Christ has no advantage over Genghis Khan, because if you are strong enough, ruthless enough, powerful enough, evil will overcome good. What's the, like, okay, I want to see the, I want to, yeah, he's quoted Kathleen Will Durant. Well, oh, would Jesus agree? Grok, no, Jesus would not, like, who are you, Grok? Can you believe it? Can you believe that there is a system right now that is, that, like, you know, it's like, isn't that blasphemy? Isn't that blasphemous? You are asking an AI to speak in the name of God. Now, I don't know this Patrick, whatever. I'm just guessing because of his name that he might be Christian. Maybe he's not Christian, right? But like, just like, I don't know who he is and what is supposed to be. I mean, right? But it's like you're asking Grok to speak in the name of who you think is God. I mean, it makes sense. No, Jesus wouldn't agree. His teachings emphasize that good prevails through love, humility, and sacrifice, not strength or ruthlessness. I mean, I'm gonna say something very, very blasphemous, right? Bro was crucified when he was 30. So, right, like, if we invoke Grok to be our religious authority and speak in the name of God, then I can continue that line of thought and say, like, I mean, he died really young. So, I mean, he's dead, right? He got nailed. So, I'm very confused. This is like, Christianity confuses me, honestly. Like, there is a reason why Judaism says, like, don't, like the more experienced being a Jew you are, the less you're gonna provoke God and try to make claims in the name of God. So for me, it's like hard to understand, like, how you, like, would Jesus agree is not blasphemous. It's like Grok is supposed to, if you believe like Jesus is God or whatever, like, then you want Grok to speak for Jesus, or I don't know how. I just don't understand how it's digested. I'm like, but this is like the difference, I guess. Because like, when Judaism says, like, don't use the Lord's name in vain, this is in vain. This is using the Lord's name in vain. But I'm trying to apply, like, the same logic Jews apply to God, to Jesus, which I don't know how it works. we should ask if Islam is against the community. I can listen. I can tell you, yes. But here's the thing, Grok is a machine. Do you think he cares if we all die? He doesn't care. So anyway, Neo7635. Young lady, I pray for your health. Maybe sleep. I will sleep. I actually thought I saw it like a couple of hours ago, and I was like, I'm gonna eat. I'm gonna prepare to go to sleep, and then before sleep, I just go live. That's the just like schedule. Because just like show up, go live. And I took that time because I thought I'd gather more material, because I didn't know that, like, we're gonna be entertained just by that for so long. Honestly, I didn't. If I had anticipated that this would be so entertaining, and that we would have this random Muslim trying to debate, right? Debate numbers and claim, like, oh, Judaism allows this and that. It's like wasting my time. Why focus on the gray when you have dark black, pitch black in front of you. And then after that, we can, it's all relative. Prioritization is very important. Anyway, you maliciously edited I want to see what cut did they choose. It's the same cut, right? There was nothing wrong with what he said, technically, right? It's like, it's like, is it like, okay, so is the insult here, is the belief that believing in Jesus would save you from Muslims who are coming to put sticks up your butt? Is that the logic? Because that would explain a lot. Because I think like when you dissect that and you think, oh, this is something that Christians are supposed to be offended by, this clip and the way it was cut, that means that like the only logical explanation is that Christians believe that if you believe in Jesus and their word, then you can just believe really strong, and the Muslims are not gonna come put a stick up your ass, right? Because you believe so strongly, like the way the Christian Nigerians do while they are getting all those things happen to them. So I'm just very like, because that's the thing, right? That's another thing that is interesting about the way you interpret something. As like, why does this sentence even work? You can clip it, right? Clip it like that. Clip it and say that's all he said, that Jesus Christ has no advantage over Genghis Khan, because if you are strong enough, ruthless enough, powerful enough, evil will overcome good. So, because I think like, is it like, because it's like, yes, like I understand, like if you read it as Jesus Christ has no advantage over Genghis Khan, because if you are strong enough. So there are several, like maybe there is a hidden. So the assumption here is it if the belief in Jesus Christ plus the fact that you are willing to fight for yourself is applied, then you'd say like clearly Jesus Christ has an advantage over Genghis Khan because it builds a better, stronger society. But this, I personally feel like this is called hubris, because Genghis Khan through like caused plague in cities by throwing bodies, like where the cities like I don't understand, like, and the other thing is like if I was like as a non-Christian, right, but like I feel offended for the Christians in Iraq for like Genghis Khan, like he burned those famous like libraries, like, and you think like the Christians there, like they probably had like a city that was built like a fortress, and yet Genghis Khan came and he threw bodies that are with like diseases over the fence, and they got infected with disease, like so they didn't believe in Jesus strong enough, so they deserved the plague, right? So that's the like, because they did both. Nia, Jesus spoke that the tongue is mightier than than the sword is the message. Yeah, I agree. For example, why the strong is the tongue is mightier, because if Christians are told things like, right, so follow me, it's like it's a logical, it's an exercise in logic, okay? If you tell Christians that Jesus spoke that the tongue is mightier than the sword, and they don't understand that what he meant in that is if you don't tell people to get out, like to start fighting for their lives in time, then they're not going to fight for their lives in time, and the sword is not going to, like, they can have a sword, but it would be sieved and it's not going to help them. Like Somebody here says Jesus never said that. Well, that's even stronger. That's even another thing, right? I'm just saying, like why is the why is the tongue mightier than the sword? Because when you fight two swords together, you might as well coordinate. Usually, it requires speech. Then two chords that are not like two swords that are not coordinated, for example. And then, like, if you have speech, you can also not necessarily use the sword. You can maybe spread rumors, right? Maybe have another way of like doing stuff. It's like this is why, because it's like, oh, Jesus Christ says, like, yeah, well, if you are not ready to fight to defend your ability to believe and follow Jesus Christ, then Jesus Christ has no advantage. True. I don't know. It doesn't even make sense. Okay, how the only way you can be offended by it is if you are whatever. Like what? So what? He cut it. So what? Like I don't like he clipped it. And the eternity is like idiots. Like this is like I feel like, and also like I'm also I think let's say my friend here there. I don't. I want to see view quotes. Okay. Yeah. Netanyahu shared. You clip chopping, context murdering, fucking pricks, whatever. Nah. Even if you clip it, okay. The way it's written, the way it said. Wait. Run that back. Did this nigga really just said evil will overcome good, bro? What is your wife not agreeing with? Did this real nigga really say evil will over? Like, are you saying that nobody can come to you and burn a church? Because I don't know if you noticed, because churches had been burning all over Europe and the West, and in general, churches are burning everywhere. It's like this is victim blaming mentality. Victim blame. That's victim blaming. Are you saying like the churches are burning because they because Jesus Christ has no advantage over Genghis Khan, because if you are strong enough, ruthless, and powerful enough, evil will overcome good. Exactly, bro. Oh my God. That's a good one. That's an interesting. Okay, that's funny. All right, this is amazing. Like, claiming to be greater than Christ can't end well for you. How are Christians supporting this antichrist? He is denying the divinity of Christ while simultaneously demanding everyone double down on his war with Iran. If I like, this is the like, I just can't like. So, what are you saying? I mean, maybe is there like maybe that like can you like maybe the logic is like at least they go to heaven, but they're dead. They died and they go to heaven. So that's the logic here, right? So all the Christians should die so that they can go to heaven. Actually, they are doing them a favor. We shouldn't even like. Are you even pro-life? What's the point in living? And if you believe in Jesus, then you go to heaven. So what's life is for? I don't understand. You guys. Yeah, I think so. These are responses by the enemy, not Christians. Because for me, it's like, I get like maybe, but someone's like, why are the Christians in Nigeria not Christian enough for you? In Syria, not Christian enough for you? Jesus said to her, I am the resurrection and the life. He who believes in me, though he may die, he shall live. And whoever lives and believes in me shall never die. Do you believe this? Well, it's a choice, but then you're saying like it doesn't matter if a Christian lives or dies, right? Because they're gonna live anyway. So it's okay that churches are burning and that Christians are getting mutilated in Nigeria, right? Well, listen, that explains a lot. And it's a fundamental disagreement about how you're supposed to live life that we have between us. You believe that if somebody comes to kill you, you die. Fine, whatever. Judeo-Mongol values. See, this is a waste of time, right? Because like you guys fine. Honestly, like whatever, like it's a waste of time. If you guys want to die, whatever. If you don't believe in defending yourself, that's your own problem. You are not my ally. You are just a loser. Honestly, like you can, like maybe it's like you can be unplugged right now to save us all, like the grief. Like why waste time? Go be with your Lord. I don't see how, and that is exactly the mentality that leads you to be Muslim, because that's what drives you to Islam. The thought that this world is only temporary and you should get out of it as fast as possible because this world sucks. So this is I see where it goes, and no wonder they're friends with Muslims. They have the same mindset. Thank you, Rebecca Brissett. Thank you so much for your support, Ron. One sign. Thank you. Just like simple explain. Thank you, America. Thank you, America. Thank you, one sign. What happened? Did I miss anything? There is serious moral confusion because they've been demoralized and they buy this bullshit. Like what happens is like, this is what I'm trying to explain to people, is that you guys don't understand. A lot of people already think like Muslims without Islam, like without understanding that they're Muslims. Because Islam is a programming of the mind. So from Judaism, you can actually extract the parts that program you. And from Islam, you can extract the parts that program you. And what the Muslims did when they infiltrated the schools is that they extracted the parts that make you suicidal and idiotic and think that, like, well, if you're going to get to heaven, why fight for life? Right? And once you reach the stage of, if you're going to go to heaven, so why fight for life? Then you are either demoralized. Anyway, you're getting closer and closer to being a Muslim. The difference between that and that is that you're actively seeking. If you're like passive about it, like, I get hit by a car, but if you're actively seeking, that's when you're a Muslim. It's like seeking, looking for the exit. Okay, what else did I have in my bookmarks here? So here's the thing right now. So instead of like us looking for people who are not losers, like the losers get all the space, because that's the thing, unfortunately, right? When losers write something, it's entertainment and it doesn't require anything of you, because if it does, if you go to heaven anyway, Jesus is Christ, Jesus is Lord, then why do anything? Like, why? You believe in Jesus, might as well go. Like, who needs to fight for life, right? Losers. And the thing is, like, do they understand that they are losers, or do people like? I'm just like, if it's somebody from like a close family member, like, it's very important. Like, did no one explain to them that it makes them people who don't fight for life? Or because sometimes people just never think of something, and once you tell them, they're like, they do like the how it goes in your navigation system, calculating a new path, right? Because it happens, right? It's not everything is trivial. You'd be surprised how much is non-trivial, and I really think it's important in communication when people actually assume, oh, you're supposed to know. I almost like, don't assume those things. It's not good. So the first step is to tell them, bro, does it are you not willing to fight evil? That's the conclusion here, right? Because if you just believe that the belief in good will prevail over evil, that means that you don't need anything. You don't need to do anything. Do you understand this concept? And when they say, if they like, well, if they're branded zombies, like whatever, it's like, it's not a person, it's an amoeba. Just let it go. Anyway, thank you. Don't forget to smash the like button, buy me coffee, PayPal. Thank you so much for your support. I cannot do this without you. Right, let's continue the joy and the fun. Right, belief always comes before doing. True. So it's like, so if somebody comes with bullshit like that, you tell them, hey, do you conceptually understand that you need to protect life, that you need to take action, otherwise evil will win? While I agree with you, all political value, you seem to be lacking in spiritual wisdom for whatever reason that may be. How do I explain that? You can consume. So I'm trying to give you something that maybe you won't get somewhere else, right? There is a lot of spiritual wisdom to be gained in many places. It's like giving someone a cake when they're thirsty. To me, the world is right now needs a little bit more action-based mentality, and there is enough of a buffet of spiritual offering. And I can give you like Tanasha Peter is great, who gives you like spiritual offering. I love that, right? But it's like, it's like bread and wine. And right now you're only getting bread or wine. It's like it's like blood, like you need both, right? And I can understand if there needs to be more of a combination of both, like an a more holistic approach of like, how do I combine them? But like honestly, like I'm an engineer, okay? So I'm like, what is the minimum viable solution that I can apply? That's what I go with. This is my go-to, understand? So I was like, okay, it's like this picture of falafel, nice, very nice. It's important. I understand. It's important. It gives you strength. It gives you trust. Yes, if you lean into trust, right? That when you take action, you are not alone. Because even if you are walking through the valley of death, you should not be afraid because you are not alone. It is extremely important. But take this walk. Start, like, you are not even walking. You're just laying in the valley of death, waiting for somebody to come to, like that. Like God walks with you, but you're not walking. So there's nobody to walk with. You understand what I'm saying here? So, and it's like, to me, it's like, it's hard to me to not notice that somebody's not walking, right? It's like, maybe I should, like, So The world does not react to your whims or of urgency, young girl. But for sure, we wish for a good world. Yeah, I get it. Does the world even react to anything? I mean, it took Donald Trump being livid for Europe and Japan being like, oh, maybe we should aid the US somehow after it's literally defending us and is ready and been there for us. I mean, like they could have annihilated both Germany and Japan, right? Why rebuild the nation? Why invest in it? Why put soldiers there? They could have went extinct instead, right? That could have, and then there would be no one to complain or be like, is this the moral thing to do? Anyway, yes, victory for democracy. Thank you for your support once again. So I understand, like, right, and then Trump got livid, and then the Japanese were like, right, it's like this is this face that she's making is spot on, right? Because when this lady was like, oh, we were surprised, and he said, well, listen, we were also surprised in Pearl Harbor. I hope she understood that you are alive and you are Japan that because of the United States, because the United States had invested in you to make you a nation that could be peaceful, because before that they were crazy and they committed kamikaze all the time. That's all they did. Okay, it took a couple of nukes for them to be like, maybe maybe like maybe there are other options, maybe like we don't have to live by the sword and die by the sword. And this is where Jesus came in and we're like, see, Jesus, here's an example. Here is Jesus, the guy we're following. And he said, if you live by the sword, you die by the sword. Do you like atom bombs falling on you? Well, it wasn't a pleasant experience, right? So were you traumatized enough? Yes, yes. Okay. So they listen, all right? And now they're so peaceful. But, right? They could have stayed nothing. They could have been nothing. Yeah, a very interesting detail that a Jew wrote the Japanese constitution. There you go. You're welcome. You're welcome. Right? Now, right? It's like, I know, like, this, like those mothers who come to say, well, I gave birth to you, so you owe me. But it wasn't your choice to be like given birth to. Well, here, America didn't give birth to you. They invested in you, and they decided to, like, they didn't, like, you were already there. They didn't birth you. They decided not to annihilate you. So you're welcome. That's the basic one. And then, like, when somebody screams in their parliament that they want to annihilate the United States of America every single day, the schools in Iran, the children woke up and said, death to America, right? Then America says, hey, Japan, please help us out here, right? And the Japanese are like, So, wait, can you hear me? Okay. So there's this concept, right, of, like, the good deed that you do, you pass it on. You pass on. Japan, sweetheart, if you had understood morality for real, you would have understood, and Germany as well, but whatever. What can you explain? Like, you would understand that the funny thing is that now you are actually morally obligated to pass on what America did for you. So actually, Japan, if you want to pay America back, it is you that needs to go to Iran and do the nation building process for the Iranians. This is how you pay back to that. You are the, like, not only like they are supposed to fight against the Iranian RGC. This is actually how you return a favor. You were under crazy military system with expansionist kamikaze or harakiri mentality, and America liberated you. They brought you from the mindset of slaves to freedom. The moral thing to do is to take that and understand that now you have a chance to actually pay America back, because America did it so that now Japan would be able to do it as well and make the world better. It's for humanity. They didn't do it for themselves. Okay, so now actually when you are fighting the RGC and you're trying to liberate Iran, Japan, you have the, if you knew and understood what it really meant, that the United States had brought you from slavery to liberty, that it gave you the tools, that you would understand that now it is actually your spiritual. Somebody here complained I'm not spiritual. Here is a spiritual part. Your spiritual obligation to the United States is to try to do it for someone else, to liberate them. And if Japan wants to actually pass the good deed on, help rebuild Iran the same way America rebuilt Japan, the right way, to make you a strong nation, to make you a nation that is productive, peaceful. And I understand it might take a time. So, but somebody, like, honestly, somebody just needs to tell that to Japan and Germany as well, who were under Nazis. The Nazis were cruel all over the board, all right? And they were evil to Germans, and Hitler had plans to also have like his crazy race theories applied on the Germans, like down the line. So Germany, right, spiritually also is, no, here's the thing, Neo, right? 7635, thank you for, did anyone tell them that this is their spiritual obligation? That when America chose to invest and rebuild and make strong nations out of them, right? Because they took them hand in hand and gave them the values that would allow them to prosper with not depending on sword. They committed atrocities that are unimaginable all over China and Korea. The Japanese were barbarians. They were savages. They were evil. They committed atrocities in great numbers. America took them hand in hand and installed the values in the next generation that allowed Japan to be what we think Japan is today. The spiritual part, now you have a chance to do the same for the Iranian people. And it's given to you in a platter, and you say no. May you remember, right, that when you hit Pearl Harbor and you are still here to talk, good. And by the way, what? All right. I'm trying to see if you're saying, guys are saying anything. And by the way, right? I forgot what I wanted to say. I was reading your comments saying my aunt is Okinawa. Your aunt is an island. Oh wait, is Okinawa an island or is it like a region? Or I think it's a region. Like anyway. Oh yeah, I remember what I wanted to say. Right. So what is the mission that God gave to the Jews? He gave to the Jews the mission of being a light to the nations. It means that Jews are like God came and brought Jews from slavery, from the house of God. God Himself, right? This is what the Torah teaches. God Himself came and took the Jews out of the house of bondage, gave them to the tools to learn to liberate themselves, and it took a generation. The slave generation died in the desert because they are not fit for nation building. So then the Jews did that same thing, right? They brought the cookbook because this is something important to understand, right? God had to come and do it to the Jews to show, like, to liberate them from the house of slavery. The Jews then brought that ability to the Americans, to the British before, and then to the Americans, and especially to the Americans. And there is America is different because they had took the Passover story to heart and they understood the freedom, what it is, right? But only if you follow the Bible can you learn that. If anyone who was not exposed to Jews or they never, like, it's either this or God comes down again. But God said, I'm gonna do it once. I'm gonna give you the Jews the cookbook. Now you need to liberate the rest of the world, light on the nations. And then America got it. America got it, right? Because they went ahead and they liberated the Germans and the Japanese and the Koreans, right? But it's also important to understand, like, now, Japan, you have the cookbook. I talked to my Japanese friend. You'd be surprised. They went through it recently. They actually know better than us, right? Because they just learned what we already forgot as Jews, right? And Jews, we did it like 4,000 years ago. We already we need reminders because, like, we're getting, but the Japanese just went through it. And the Japanese, they actually, the Japanese, the Gen Y, Gen Z, like, they know the cookbook better than us because they went through it now, right? They have it. They have it. The Americans had the cookbook when they lived, like, they it was closer, right? They went through it. And oh my God, this is the funniest comment of Judaism has nothing to do with Christian theology. Inri. Jesus is the God of the Jews. Anyway. So let's continue. So the cookbook was there, okay? And then, of course, the Brits got it next, and then the Brits, like, and then it went to the Americans, and of course the Jews, and, like, you know, the Americans remind, like, the Americans reminded the Jews what they already forgot, like, you know how it works. And now it is Japan that actually has the best cookbook, because I talk to Japanese people, and I know they actually know it better than us because they literally, like, they know it better. You'd be surprised because they have, like, because it's one thing that when you have a theory, the Japanese have the application. They literally have the what kind of wording you have to change, what kind of sentences you need to change. Like, they have the cookbook. They have it. They just went through it. You are the best. Like, they are the best to go and actually apply the same methodology in other places that need liberation. And unlike the Jews, they are not labeled as Satan, right? They because here's what happened. Those who wanted to keep their population enslaved understood what the Jews are trying to do, and they made sure to tell their population that the Jews are Satan. So the Jews are Satan, that they wouldn't listen to them. So when the Jews were trying to sell the cookbook of how to be free, they would be like, oh, we've been told about you because you guys are the devil. And now America is also the devil because it already did it. So it exposes that. Japan has the experience and they don't have the devil the title yet. And so they can do it. They can do it. Somebody needs to nicely explain it to them. This is how you pay back. The Americans understood it. The Americans understood it. It's very important that, like, you understand, like, light to the nations, pass it on. Pass it on. Because once you do it and people and tyrants understand what you do, they demonize you so that their population would not be liberated. It's so simple. I don't know why it's so hard for people to understand. Like, why are the Jews demonized? Because Jews brought the cookbook of how to bring liberty to your population. Their entire religion is actually a cookbook to go from the house of bondage to liberty. So what would a tyrant logically do? They don't want their slaves to understand their slaves. So they say, super easy. You see these guys? Evil. Evil. Everything they're saying, stupid and evil. All right. America falls, then all who walks free will be gone. Well, how about not falling? How about understanding that freedom means that you are always, always vigilant. Always. It's hard work. Hard work. So I don't know. I think maybe we need to go to the Americans and ask them, like, did you forget the part where they're supposed to pass that knowledge on? Because once you know, you pass the knowledge once, then the tyrants get, like, they understand who you are and what you do, and they make sure to demonize you. And their populations is a slave population that is under their control. So of course they're gonna believe what their tyrants are saying. Are you good? I hope you guys understand that. Please, what I just told you, explain to others. All right? Because here, like, what is the story of Babylon Tower? What is the story? The truth is that a liberated society, because even the Greeks, right? They understood the concept of democracy. Like, between a friend of, there is a reason why the Greeks were city-states and never managed to grow out of the city-state, because they needed to be a bunch of friends on a personal level that saw themselves as equal, and that's how they had democracy. But they still had the same master-slave mentality, so someone else had to be a slave. So this is why they never grew out of the city-state. They had the Greek culture spread, but it was always city-states. It never became a nation. So let's continue. Oh, that's just super funny. Here's the thing, right? So I'm not Neo, with, like, I love and thank you for all your support. I'm gonna use you for, like, as a learning example, right? Like, you guys, like, I know it's very tempting to say, okay, USA model is from Cyrus or the Greek, which is great, but like, and it's fun debate, but I also always think like you always need to like that here's the thing, it's fun, it's a fun debate, but the world is at a stage where we need to be able to speak in a way that is actionable. And arguing about like the USA model is this or this, right? It's fun, right? But the action item really is who needs to hear that being a free person, right? The only cookbook that we have right now to bring someone from a mindset of a slave to a free person is the Bible. Like we don't have other documents. There are like you can rewrite it to your local culture. You can do a lot of things, but the thing is like to change to change society from master slave to freedom. We only like we have like this. There is one way we know how to do it. Okay. So we need to defend it and explain it. And when somebody comes to you, hey, this is like this idiot, and like, I'm sorry, not idiot. I mean, this Muslim, which is actually more of an insult than calling someone an idiot. Now I'm like, I don't think he was an idiot, but he was a Muslim, which is worse than being an idiot. But it's like, it's not his fault. It's like being retarded. It's kind of like your brain is shaped by with constraints, and it's like so Islam is like, you know how in China like they would tie the feet, and that would make them, you know, not grow proper, like the same. This is what Islam does to your brain. Anyway, I appreciate your talks, Rebecca, but I urge you to apply nuance to your thought when discussing Christianity. We're all imperfect, and some of us unfortunately suffer from moral confusion. I didn't speak about Christianity for the last I didn't speak of Christianity like at all right now. Like I only spoke about Christians in the beginning, which, you know, it's like I don't think it's Christianity. I'm just saying like this is, if you apply Christianity that way, then it's not good for you. And I don't like here's like do we don't like it's nice, okay? Some people are morally confused. Okay, all right. How do I say it? What is the difference, right? So I don't know if you noticed, but Moses actually was walking a bunch of sheep into the desert. And by the end of this walk in the desert, the bunch of sheep turned into like humans, right? So how does it work, right? So Jesus come and ask them, hey, here are the 10 commandments. What do you guys think about them? Do you like them? No, he didn't. It was like, these are the 10 commandments. If you disagree with them, then like he smashed those pellets on their heads and said like, what? Like, it's like, oh, let's open that to a debate. Here are the 10 commandments. What are you guys thinking? Did he? No. So why are you wasting your time? Like, oh, some Christians are confused. Okay, fine. So tell them. So it's like, they bring their idea of Christianity, and you tell them, well, this, like, here's what Christianity is: A, B, and C. Like, what did Moses want to do when the Jews were like, don't covet? Are you serious? It's kind of difficult not to covet. That's not fun. And Moses was like, God, kill him. And this is how, like, here's the thing. It sounds crazy, right? But if the only cookbook that we have of how liberation works and we don't have an alternative, right? Moses wanted to say, first he wanted them to die, right? After he was like, fine, kill them. After that, it was like, okay, maybe they just need time to digest what's like, and then the people saw he got mad, and he was like, okay, maybe we should follow the 10 commandments. They don't actually sound that bad. Like, yes, it's hard not to steal or to kill or to covet, but like, maybe if I really try, I can manage. And and then it was like, Moses was like, okay, fine. But what I'm trying to say is, like, here's the thing that you guys need to understand, because somebody needs to understand it. It was something that was known 100 years ago, but we had forgotten because we were liberated for some time. So we got away from the cookbook. The cookbook that we have, the only cookbook that we have on how to get out of the house of bondage into liberty, shows a person that introduced the 10 commandments. And when the people were like, his reaction was, yes, okay, fine. Okay, you don't like, okay, you want to steal, sir? Oh, okay. Let me, stealing is like, Moses, what if I'm really hungry? What, like, and nobody, like, and I cannot afford bread, and like, and the only person that has bread is the person that wants me to die. Can I steal it? And then, okay, so can you add that clause to the stealing? Because there are, like, this is the Jewish, like, this is the classical Jewish reaction. Is like, don't steal, but what if you're about, like, what if it's a life or death? Now Jesus was like, I'm not wasting my time with you idiots. You're just trying not to do anything. Why are they arguing? They're not arguing about that, really. What they're trying to do is to continue stealing, continue murdering, continue doing whatever they want to do. They don't want to accept the 10 commandments. It's not about the nuances. It's just a wasting time until the whole idea is scraped and everybody goes back home and does whatever they want, right? This is the thing. So here's the thing, right? This is a waste of time. The God, and then Moses was like, kill those idiots, kill them. Yeah, he understood. He saw through this bullshit and was like, kill them. And then they were like, okay, let's be honest. Stealing is not good. And and then it's like, okay, maybe if I argue that I stole because then the punishment will be reduced and there are going to be special cases, but it's not good. It's not good. Even if you're hungry, stealing is not good. Right? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're like the life of death. It doesn't make stealing moral. It just means that you are doing something immoral and you understand it. You understand that what you did was immoral. You bear that sin. Because there is no compromise here, right? There isn't. Stealing is never a good thing to do. But the 10 commandments just tells us that there is no what if, right? It's not good. That's it. It really is. And if you choose to steal, you do that knowing that you choose to do something that is immoral. And you choose to do the immoral thing consciously. Maybe because if you don't steal, you're going to die. But it just means that you sinned. Right? You decided to sin, but the sin is a sin. And because the mindset here is like the Muslims are like, oh, but if you're hungry, you can steal. Suddenly, if they just feel a tinge of hunger, like they didn't eat for an hour, well, I'm hungry, I can steal. Because this is what happens when things are not absolute. All right? You can repent, you can carry the guilt, but you sinned. As long as you understand you sinned, you may, like, there is no compromise on the fact that you sinned. Doesn't matter what the situation was, stealing is a sin, okay? And you choose to sin. You choose to bear it. You choose to, you repent later. You think about, how do I repent? Because repentance isn't like in front of the community, right? This is what the church was for. Like, there's like, right? Because otherwise, because this is what Muhammad did. Stealing is not good, but but we were hungry and you guys had food, so F that. And then suddenly, like, it doesn't take much. It's like, it doesn't take much. The bar goes lower because you already opened that mechanism of, in certain situations, something that is sinful is not a sin. No, it's non-negotiable, right? So this is the thing that must be understood. A sin is a sin. You can choose to sin. You can choose to sin. Sometimes you are in a situation in life that you have to choose between two sins. That you have to choose between. I'll be super straightforward. Sometimes your only choice is between sins. Choose this sin or that sin. Right? But you sinned, and you would work to correct the wrong when opportunity would come. You know that you sinned, so when you are not hungry, you're gonna come to the person that you stole the bread from and give them the bread, or you're gonna give somebody who's hungry the bread that you had to steal so that they would not have to sin. There are so many, there's the Christianity, Judaism, like there is an abundance of ways to repent. But the thing that you need to understand is that a sin is a sin. 10 commandments are the 10 commandments. If you ask Grok to speak for God, you sinned. That's it. You committed a sin. You committed a sin because you chose, instead of taking moral responsibility for the bullshit that comes out of your mouth, you chose to not only say that it's not that you take like children, they take toys and you said like, oh, my toy wanted to do this. No, you had given that moral sense, the moral responsibility that you had to take, you gave it to God. That means that now other people are going to use that, and that means that your sin is amplified. That's the sin here. So when so yeah, super easy to understand. A sin is a sin. Evil is evil. Just because you have to sometimes choose between two evils, right? Like America dropped an atom bomb on Japan. It was justified. The Japanese were insane. But they understood it's a sin anyway. Just because they did, just because it was just because objectively there is a good chance that it is the only choice they had, that was between sinning towards their own people and sinning and committing dropping an horrific bomb like the atom bomb. Like, if you actually know how crazy the Japanese were and what they did in China, right? You choose the sin of the atom. They sinned. And Truman chose to bear this sin, and he worked relentlessly to repent on this sin, but the sin stayed a sin. So he repented. He rebuilt Japan. He made Japan something that without the atom bomb, they could have never been. This is a completely different dynamic and world. You sinned. I've sinned. There is no stealing is a sin. Lying is a sin. No compromise. And if somebody comes to you and starts sinning in front of you and tries to explain their sin away, you don't compromise. You don't entertain them. You go back to the mountain and say, okay, let humanity get doomed. Because here's the thing. Why did the Jews, why does it work? First of all, it's like great guilt tripping, right? They know that they are wrong to begin with, and then it's like it's classical human psychology that people do all the time, right? It's like don't answer. Like here's the thing, right? There is a reason I say that the Bible is, like the Torah specifically, is our only cookbook, only actual showing the path of how to liberate a nation, how to get out of the house of bondage. First of all, the fact that it takes a generation, that the generation needs to change, that you didn't finish the job, that you have to walk them. Here's the thing. This is why, right? What did America forget? America stayed a generation in Germany, Japan, and Korea, generation, right? If you don't do, if Moses could have not died in the middle of the desert walk, no matter how much he couldn't stand his job anymore. He had to walk them all the way. And in the end, right, he was himself a slave and he had to stay behind. But he walked the walk, right? Until, like, through a generation swap. So you need to be there and to swap a generation. If somebody tries to start speaking in the name of Jesus, that is when you exit and you say, 10 commandments. Because we don't have we don't have another way. The only way that we have, the only manual we have is, like, every single time that people went from the house of bondage to liberty, every single time it was based on the only blueprint we have, which is the Torah. And you have to follow it through. The story of liberation, you have to follow it through. Think about it. Moses worked miracles. The miracle that, right, as Japan, what liberated Japan? What was step one, right? The people of Israel had to see something that was so out of ordinary, extraordinary, for them to follow. What did the Japanese see? They saw an atom bomb. They saw an atom bomb. That was the defeat of Germany, this complete defeat, the understanding that there is power that is so much stronger than you, is the step one. It's step one. You cannot skip it. You have to follow the book. You have to, like the beeper operation, open the door in Lebanon. The drones in Iran, open the door. Without this, the God raining fire and hail from the sky, the people of Israel would have not turned, like they would have not even started the journey out of the house of bondage. Would have not had happened. Right? If it wasn't for God himself coming and showing his might, speaking of might is might, power is power, the first step is might. It's like, if you want to live, like, this is why I believe, like, if why Jews had to go back to their land, right? To be light to the nations. If they don't show an actual an actual miracle, why are you even entering this BS? Because it's not BS. It's psychologically sound. Do you want the boring psychological explanation that people need to go through trauma? People need to be humble and understand that there are forces greater than them first. Once you get, because the number one reason that people are slaves is the need of control. So there are two sides of control. One is when you are slave, then your way of control is knowing that by doing whatever, then somebody you give away, you give away control, but also like it's a way of controlling, because you know what to expect. You know that your body is not important. It's like you are not responsible for anything, right? So why one, like mathematics, one way of not having being a control freak is to make sure that there is nothing you can control. It's the empty case. When you're a slave, it's the empty case, because you have zero responsibility, so you control everything in the empty sense, because there is nothing to control. You control everything. All right. And versus like the master, then you have the control freak. You need to first to understand that there are things that are beyond your control. You understand, the psychological human understand there's things that is beyond their control when they see an atom bomb exploding, or when God rains hail. And people are so sophisticated right now. It's like they need but here the funny part here, why did the narrative of the Torah works and the psychological explanation doesn't? Because the psychological explanation is boring and useless, and it's a waste of time, and it's beyond people's capacity. So it's easier, and just a miracle needs to happen, a show of might. And there are different ways, but you'd notice like every time there is a show of might. This is why Iraq didn't work. There was a show of might, but then you didn't wait a generation. You have to understand what you need to do. Like if you don't walk through the actual, and also like if you have a discussion about what morality is, there is no discussion, right? The Japanese didn't write their own constitution. A Jew did. A Jewish person came and wrote the constitution. She knew what needs to be written because she happens to have the Bible. Just Jews usually know them. All right? It just means it works. All right? That's how it works. There is a reason that it is the best way, and there is nothing here's the other thing. The Torah was not written in a day. It took, how many? It wasn't written in a century. It was written in millennia. Some of the stories there are probably maybe even tens of thousands years old before they were polished and retold and learned. It was a scientific process. The Torah is scientific process that was learned through generations upon generations upon generations. And it was summarized, it was distilled, it was made in a way that every person can follow. No matter how much they can follow logic or psychological reasoning that require a lot more effort. If you don't here's the thing, you don't understand. What made, why do you think the Bible is got so famous? When the Greeks, who for them, the Jews, I need to go to sleep, because when I'm starting to fall asleep, my nose gets red. So there is a reason why the Greeks, when they read the Bible, it blew their mind. They were fascinated. It's not a book that was written in a day. It was written in millennia, with every generation taking care to do they used a scientific method. They it's not, it's the thing is like, you like, you need to appreciate, right? People don't understand, like, you think that you can take the way the world was before the agriculture happened and just go from that to like to do all the discoveries that are needed to have that the agricultural system that we have today. Some processes take millennia, and if you want the thing is like the Bible, the thing why it's amazing, it's a scientific work that took a millennia of testing, deliberate testing. It's and people, like, if you don't understand what the Bible really is, then you would have the hubris to think that in a lifetime of your lifetime, even a century, you can write something that is even remotely close to how smart the Bible is. So how red does it go? Like all the way to Santa Claus, all the way. All right, everybody. I'm 100. Yes, I'm gonna get some sleep. This whole live went to the direction I did not expect, but I'll just summarize and say, okay, now there is another way, because the true way to go about it is like just put effect. Psychology, like I can give you the mathematics. I can give you the psychological explanation, the mathematical explanation, the scientific explanation, the anthropological explanation of why this is the only methodology that works, that is tried and true. But I'll do what Moses did and say, if you don't understand that with all the evidence that exists, you are retarded. And it's either you take it or I allow God to strike you. Actually, I'm not allowing. I'm actually going to ask them specifically. God's like, we don't need this. Or you know, it's like, okay, fine. The slave just said they're slaves, and like that's it. They chose their fate. Let them be slaves and treat them as slaves. Because slaves can only be treated as slaves. They don't understand liberty and freedom. All right, you guys? Good night, everybody. Oh, wait. I'm so tired. I was about to leave the city without ending the stream. Okay, end stream. And then bye.